Greetings, seekers of hidden truths, to another episode of Law Lagoon, your sanctuary for probing the eerie tales etched in the chronicles of history. Before we plunge into today's unsettling enigma, if you've just stumbled upon us or relish our content, ensure to strike the subscribe button to never miss a chance of unearthing more secrets. Now let us delve into the depths of the unknown. Have you ever pondered the dark secrets behind the US's rise to the pinnacle of space exploration? This is a tale that hurls us back into the chaotic aftermath of World War II, a narrative as captivating as it is fraught with controversy. Today we pull back the curtains on a covert operation that forever altered the trajectory of history, Operation Paperclip. In the grim aftermath of World War II, there was torn asunder not merely by physical boundaries, but by a relentless battle for technological dominance. This was a contest where the rewards soared as high as the distant constellations. The United States, hungry to gain an advantage, embarked on a clandestine mission like no other. This mission bore the cryptic name of Operation Paperclip, the aim to ensnare the genius minds behind Nazi Germany's awe-inspiring technological wonders, including the engineers of the dreaded V-2 rocket, a weapon that once brought the heavens crashing down. It was a scheme swathed in shadows, a gamble of cosmic dimensions. The US was ostensibly offering reconciliation to those who were once considered the vilest of foes. The objective was self-evident: to exploit their knowledge and prowess to catapult the United States to the vanguard of space and military technology. But what could compel the United States, a nation that had battled the Nazis with such ferocity, to seek the aid of their scientists? The answer is rooted in the geopolitical climate of the era. The world teetered on the brink of the Cold War. The US and the Soviet Union were locked in a tense face-off, each seeking to reign supreme not only on Earth but in the vast, uncharted cosmos. The race was on. The US needed to act swiftly, with unwavering resolve. Operation Paperclip was their cryptic solution. It was a maneuver that would not only mold the future of space exploration, but would also cast long, convoluted shadows that we continue to struggle with today. What if I told you that the foundation of America's space program was laid by those once considered the vilest of enemies? This was the enigmatic Operation Paperclip, a chapter in history shrouded in mystery, continuing to bewilder and intrigue us to this very day. Imagine this: the dust of World War II has settled, revealing a chilling discovery among the ruins. Hidden within the debris, a chilling treasure trove unveils itself. Nazi scientists and their groundbreaking yet horrifying research. These were more than mere men of science. These were the architects of the V-2 rocket, the jet engine, and countless more instruments of war that were years, even decades, beyond the world's imagination. Yet these extraordinary intellects were marred by their association with a regime responsible for horrific atrocities, their hands tainted directly or indirectly by the blood of millions. This unearthed a moral quandary of epic proportions: to condemn these men for their complicity or exploit their brilliance for potential gain. Opinions among the Allies splintered. Some insisted these scientists face their reckoning as war criminals. Others, however, glimpsed an opportunity to harness their knowledge, foreseeing a future where these tainted intellects could turn the tides in the impending Cold War, a shadow looming even before the last smoldering fires of World War extinguished. The eventual verdict led these scientists to American shores. This covert operation was ominously christened Paperclip, alluding to the mundane paperclips binding the scientists' new identities to their often sinister pasts. This move, to put it mildly, sparked controversy. It signaled a conscious choice of pragmatism over principles, future over a choice that would ripple through the annals of history. For better or worse, these scientists would prove pivotal in shaping America's scientific and military realm. They would aid in humanity's first lunar landing, conceive intercontinental ballistic missiles, and significantly shape the landscape of science and technology. And with this, a foreboding stage was set for an age-old struggle of principles, politics, and pragmatism. The trials loomed, and the world steeled itself to witness one of the most contentious chapters in the chronicles of history. Envision a clandestine trial, shrouded in mystery and controversy, unlike any other. This was the eerie backdrop for the undercover judicial proceedings that marked Operation Paperclip. Conducted the densest cloaks of secrecy, hidden from the unknowing gaze of the public, these trials were a chilling dance of morality and ethics. The United States, standing on the edge of a precipice, was torn between the hunger for scientific advancement and the bitter reality of joining hands with former foes. The conscripted scientists, some carrying shadows of wartime atrocities, were shackled by silence. Their contract served as both and a passport to a fresh existence. They were expected to labor quietly, bolstering America's technological might, but their murky pasts were to be forever immured, their secrets forever entombed. The trials may have ended, the scientists may have found their way to American soil, but the tale was far from over. The truth of this scientific procurement was lurking in the shadows, waiting to be unveiled. What transpires when a secret of this magnitude festers in the shadows? As the aftermath of these clandestine trials dissolved into the ether, a chilling paradox emerged. Those once seen as foes were woven into the very fabric of American academia and industry. These scientific intellects, initially harnessed for the dread machinery of war, found their purpose veering towards the pursuits of peace and progress. Their contributions were remarkable and spanned across a myriad of disciplines. From conjuring advanced medical treatments to manifesting the dawn of the modern computer, their influence seeped into every crevice. But perhaps the most significant mark was etched into the American space program. The voyage to the moon, one of humanity's most monumental feats, had its eerie roots embedded in Operation Paperclip. Yet despite these significant impacts, a cloak of secrecy shrouded everything. The cryptic origins of these scientists and the circumstances of their arrival in America were swallowed by a thick fog of silence. This was no mere act of omission, but a carefully contrived charade. The American government, sensing the potential scandal of Operation Paperclip, executed extensive measures to keep it sheltered from public scrutiny. Files were hermetically sealed, identities were morphed, and a narrative carefully woven to depict these scientists as war refugees, not its puppeteers. It was a grand illusion, and for many years it remained unchallenged. The government's efforts to shroud Operation Paperclip were so insidiously effective that for decades the operation slumbered in obscurity. Those who dared to probe the sudden deluge of German scientists were branded as paranoid or conspiratorial. The truth was entombed beneath strata of misinformation and misdirection, and for a time it appeared as though the secret would languish in the shadows indefinitely. But as with all secrets, the truth has an unnerving way of clawing its way out. In the end, the truth, no matter how unsettling, always claws way to the surface. It's an old saying, but one that echoes ominously when we delve into the shadowy revelations of Operation Paperclip. The shroud was pulled back, not in a cataclysmic moment of revelation, but through a relentless drip of clandestine information that refused to be contained. As the late 1970s descended, investigative journalists began to excavate the concealed past, unearthing fragments of a tale so astonishing it seemed eerie to be real. They discovered classified documents, interrogated former intelligence officials, and pieced together a narrative that would eventually bring the operation into the harsh glare of public scrutiny. Backlash was immediate and fierce. Public outrage swelled as the magnitude of the operation and the identities of the hidden players were revealed. Scientists once lauded as beacons of the space age were now exposed as former Nazis, some carrying with them dark histories they had wished remained buried. The ethical implications of the government's actions sent a chilling wave of disbelief. Could the quest for scientific superiority truly justify sheltering war criminals? As we reflect on the haunting legacy of Operation Paperclip, it's clear that its impact stretches far deeper than the scientific milestones it ignited. It compelled us to confront unnerving questions about morality, responsibility, and the terrible price of progress. It was a jarring reminder that history is often shrouded in grey, and those who wield power frequently do so with a chilling indifference to the ethical consequences. Episode also stands as a spine-chilling cautionary tale about the perils of secrecy, revealing the possibility of unchecked power leading to actions that defy our collective ideals. It made us aware that the truth, however deeply entombed, will eventually claw its way out, and those guilty will be faced with retribution. Operation Paperclip, a chilling tale of science, concealment, and the grim struggle for dominance, but at what haunting cost? As we glance back at this haunting chapter of our history, we must remember that the quest for knowledge should never come at the cost of our humanity. So what chilling lessons can we glean from this dark chapter of history? Tale of Operation Paperclip is a complex one, spun with strands of ambition, secrecy, and moral quandaries. It emerged from the shadows in the wake of World War II, its goal to lure German scientists into the fold of the United States. This covert operation was swathed in mystery, with trials conducted far from the probing gaze of the public. But even the most meticulously guarded secrets cannot remain hidden forever. As the truth began to bleed out, it was met with a cocktail of shock and disbelief. The revelations forced the world to face the terrifying ethical precipices scaled by this operation. Yet, despite its eerie, the legacy of Operation Paperclip isn't entirely shrouded in darkness. It significantly propelled the United States' advancements in the realms of space exploration and other technological fields. The story of Operation Paperclip compels us to question ourselves. How far are we willing to venture into the shadows for the sake of progress?